All right, now it's time to say all the expletives, all the slurs. We're being recorded.
Yeah. No more pleasantries.
I got them out of the way earlier. It's okay.
Yeah.
We're throwing the Midwestern out of our system.
Yeah. You're in Texas now.
Yeah. Welcome to Brooklyn.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we have a special guest here today, Nick Ford. We're really happy you're on. We've all kind of geeked about some of your playing and some of the things that we've seen like on Instagram and that sort of stuff. But I know that you also teach guitar. You've done some music with video games. Just really cool to have you on. Thank you for being on. So, Nick, if you'd like to say anything additional about yourself, tell us where to find you, what you're doing, so everyone else can know. And we'll put it in our comments and stuff below as well.
Yeah. Thanks, Ken. I'm really happy to be here. I'm a fan of the show. And my name is Nick Ford. I'm a guitar player, guitar teacher, and taco lover. And yeah, no one know why I threw that in there. But yeah, I've been playing guitar for...
Hey, man,
yeah.
You got to come to Texas. You got to...
Yeah. Big taco scene there?
Oh, yeah. All kinds here.
Yeah, right on. So, yeah, no, I'm a guitar teacher, and I'm on Instagram at Steel Lemon, and I have a website, steellemon.com, and Steel Lemon Studios for Steel Lemon Studios for YouTube. And currently, I'm writing guitar material. I'm writing a book on how to learn your fretboard, how to really learn it, to tie in music theory and the whole bit. So none of this memorize the fretboard in 24 hours BS. Actually, you're going to learn it. Turns out writing a book is hard though, so I'm still working on
it.
Yeah,
I can imagine.
So
reading, but is hard.
Yeah, no, it's this sounds like a great idea. I've always wanted to do this, and it's quite a bit of work. So, but yeah, that's a bit about me. I'm a Berklee College of Music grad, class of 2004, and played in some local bands. I fill in here and there. I'm not really playing in a band right now, but it's just kind of family man / guitar teacher, / general old guy. So general old guy.
No, join the team. Join the team. Yeah, I know. I'm sorry Zach isn't here, but Zach is our resident old guy. I'm also old at
that
heart.
Made me laugh my ass off too, by the way, because he's like, I'm 28, my life is over.
Zach
dude,
and all his I'm 28, I can't even start singing.
Oh yeah, that was the most recent episode. Yeah, apparently your vocal cords just stop at 28, and we're like, no, that's not a thing.
Well, yeah, no. So, but I understand. It's like, 30 is fine. You guys don't worry about it. It's 38. Then it starts. Oh man, I hurt for no reason. Why? Okay.
I'm hitting that though. Quarantine is got me. I had to take the hands off my I had to take the hands off my chair because I was getting back pain from playing guitar in it. Mm-hmm. And then I was going through that same thing where I was like, oh no, it's kicking in, like the back pain. And then I was like, no, I'm just way out of shape. That's fine. I can deal with that.
Yeah. So don't sweat it, you guys. It's yeah. As the old guy in this particular show, it's no big deal. 28 is great.
Yeah, it is.
I'm feeling it. I'm doing all right. So without further ado, I think you have something to show us, to introduce us in the show that's going to melt our minds and break our fingers. So
yeah. So I got a whole bunch of stuff to show you guys today, but I think there's an Instagram link from a couple days ago. I'm not sure when this will be airing, but let's see what I got here. Okay, so this is kind of a countrified Zakk Wylde thing, but it's going into a metal kind of guitar song. So I got this sort of thing. So it's just a little intro right there. There's more to it. New song I'm writing, but
I loved it because it reminded me of this Megadeth song. I don't know which one. It's on Rust in Peace, but I don't know what it reminded me of. But it's funny you said Zakk Wylde because I was thinking it was like a Megadeth song or something.
Yeah.
And I was
like Lucia.
Yeah, Lucretia or something.
Oh,
Lucretia.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah. So. But I also thought of is that Tude L'Amour or something like that?
Yeah. That's yeah. Great tune. Yeah,
that's cool.
Yeah, man. So that one again. This is all pretty fresh. So if it comes out a little sloppy here, that's because it's fresh to me too. But yeah, so the concept for this one is a song I just started writing actually just a few days ago. That's how fresh this is. A song called Dark Gravity. I've been listening to way too much Neil deGrasse Tyson. And
is there ever too much?
I'm still trying to find it. It's I'll go on about Google Plexes. Don't get me started. But so the progression in this one is, I'd ask you something I really want to show you guys. It has a lot of the bluesy kind of elements in it. We were talking earlier about this, about the minor 7 flat 5. But it's basically which is, when you break it down, that's just the standard blues in F sharps.
Where are you starting there?
We're in F sharp minor, and so start on the root, and you just play, Yep. We got that's it. So, and then we're just making it. Yeah, we're making it open strings. Yeah. Oh, sorry. I don't know if you can see my right hand. Let me back up a little bit. And then, so you let the notes ring together, kind of like a pedal, like a piano. What's that? Damper pedal on a piano.
I see. I love that. You showed us this beforehand, because I tried learning it, and that is not how I approached it. I approached it way different, and I'm like, oh, that makes way more sense. I was thinking you were going you're going like back and forth, but I thought you're going like, I like couldn't. That's way cooler.
Yeah. So it's hybrid picking too. So I got pick and then these two. So it's like, yep. And then you have, it's like a 5th fret.
Oh, yeah, that's it. Yep. So you're not even.
It's going actually down 5th fret on the 3rd string, and then 2nd fret on the 2nd string, and then open. Yep. So I take the C here, and I put it here on the 3rd string, and then the C sharp is here, and this you have.
Yeah.
Yep. So instead of playing it here, though, I actually play the C here, so I can get that ringing sound.
Oh shit, that's brilliant.
Yeah, that's it. So, and it's just 2 shapes, so it's almost like 2 chords. Yeah. And then I just alternate. So I play each one twice, and then I go once. And that's how I learn repeating patterns too. By the way, I call it 4-2-1. So something like that's new. I'll do 4. And then like 4, and then 2, and then 1. So
I mean, speaking of Megadeth, it's like that spider, almost like the spider, riff sort of stuff.
Yeah, totally. It's that's cool. I'll have to keep that in mind.
This is nice. I've been working on my hybrid pickings. This is a nice exercise for that.
That's it. Yep.
That's a stretch too, though.
Yeah. It's a bit. I got lots. This is gonna be a stretchy episode. I got lots of stretchy stuff.
And what's the picking? Is it going like 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3?
I'm just going like pick and then middle and then ring. So it's.
So it's triplets.
Yeah. It's pretty loose timing. So I have a. What's that?
Okay.
That's harmonic minor.
Oh my god!
Yeah.
This is the most workout I've done. I'm like,
I'm not sure how everybody's. I just came upstairs and let's start. So I'm not warmed up either. So it's pretty stretchy.
Yeah, that's a good. And I like that you broke it down as like it's just 2 chords that you're alternating between, because that makes way more sense. Because I was doing it as like a legato run of like,
right.
And I was like, man, how do you do this?
Yeah, it'd be pretty hard if you were. Let's see. You could do. Maybe you could do something like. And then. something like that. That'd be a little different, but obviously this one too is better for like a kind of a clean or a slightly dirty clean like we got going on. So yeah.
And then it goes.
Which is like. Yeah, so it's kind of like it's again, it's going from like the chord is F sharp minor, and it's going to like a C sharp 7 there. So it's like but I'm just playing the single note. So
do you think about like in the context of chords a lot when you're coming up with these licks?
Okay, absolutely. Yeah, I like to have. Sometimes it's just playing over one chord. But like the thing I posted today, which I hope to show you guys at some point this lesson too, that was a stretchy one that was the same thing. I had a chord progression in mind, even if it's just a couple chords, just to kind of add a little bit of movement in the line.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's cool because like when you played that chord, I didn't hear that necessarily when you played it, but like when I first heard the video. But now when you play the I can now hear like the song behind it and the structure, and I'm like, oh, there's like an intention for that. It's like, because at first I thought of it as more of a dissonant note, but then now when you play it this way, I'm like, oh no, it's got like this kind of build up to it, and
yeah, totally.
That's really
there's kind of an implied harmony with some of that stuff. It kind of depends on where you put those or where I put those notes, So
after you do and then do you do a bend? Right?
Also. Oh, sorry. And then I do a little.
Okay, that comes after.
Yeah. Yeah, that's it. Yep. And that's actually kind of the same. Yeah, it's sort of the same, just the 7th of that chord, like C sharp 7. And then after that, it's sort of a descending thing. And it's actually probably the trickiest part of the lick, is it's not really patternistic. It's just going down. So it's got that
open strings. The open strings you can sneak in there.
Yeah, that's it. Cool. That's it. I probably didn't do it that well when I played it at first, but it's kind of walking pace there. So it starts out with just let's say how's it? That's it. Yep, and then it opens. Oh, sorry, back up a little. And then back, our favorite shape here. Just down that thing we just played. Yep, and then. Yep.
Oh, you're just going down the F sharp minor. Kind of.
Yeah. So I've been kind of mixing in the blues and the F sharp minor. Yep. And then, yeah, that's it. That's where it's going. Yep. And then I put the first finger on the C sharp. That's 4th fret, 5th string. And then B. And it sounds like sharp B, A. Yep. And then.
I'm cheating. I'm playing by ear right now, and I'm like, I should, because I saw it, and then I was like, okay, I got the notes, but I don't know if I played it right.
Yeah, I mean that's essentially. I use an open A just to kind of use that rub there. So I go. So you get that. Yeah, I mean, I suppose you could. It's the same. That would probably be better. That's probably do that. That's easier.
I like the way you do it. Like,
yeah, no, I want to learn it how you're actually playing.
So no, probably just improved it. I'm gonna play it that way because it's better.
Ergonomics, man.
That's how fresh this thing is. Fresh off the press. Let's say it was it. So yeah. Again, so all I did was instead of playing, I take the B and I put it on the 6th string. So yeah, so just so I can let the notes ring together, like B, C sharp, B, and then A. Oh. Yeah, that's it. And then after And it's just a normal.
I like how it's just a normal and then plays cool riffs. Like, this is your standard sexy riff, you know?
Yeah.
Can we hear like the whole thing again?
If I can play it, let's see. So. That was better. Use take 2.
All right.
Yeah. I like that a lot.
Yeah. That's one of those things. I'm writing the song and I played that and I'm like, yeah, that's got to go on Instagram. You know, you guys ever get that? We're like, oh, that's okay. Hold on a second.
That's the one. I feel like I've been doing that while I'm writing and recording. Is just I'll normally do like a 2-shot. So I have like my old phone, my current phone, just 2-shot. I'll do DI into one phone and just start recording while I'm recording, and so that if I get something good, I can just go back and cut the video. I'll just do it for like 15 minutes, so I don't have to cut through a lot of video. And I'll just go through and take that good bit and use that later for.
No, I'm liking the process videos you're doing too. Where you kind of like say, I got this, and that's I love that stuff. I mentioned that too with the ones you guys posted today, whatever today, obviously when this airs, it's the 11th of May. I love that stuff, and I love hearing about that. So, yeah.
I think it's like a format. Like I feel like it's a format that, being in quarantine, a lot of us ironically got TikTok, and that's a very common format on TikTok. Which is from like cooking to you mentioned Neil deGrasse Tyson. The other person like I'm big into actually on TikTok is Hank Green, who does like SciShow on YouTube and does a lot of like science learning programs.
Oh, cool. Okay.
He talks about things like in stories, and then I was just like, oh, that's what I do. That's what I enjoy doing, like through tonal distancing. It's like, why can't I just do that format for everything I do? Because that's just the easiest format I know how to do, and it doesn't. I get the pressure, like how you just nailed it. I get the pressure when I'm on the camera, like doing it on the spot.
Hard.
Yeah, having to stop record, hit record. I got over that, and just kind of doing my own thing and then just talking to the camera every once in a while is what worked for me.
That's great. Yeah, that's the hard part for me is the talking to the camera. I mean, it's like I got 2 minutes of guitar stuff to go through and 10 minutes of me going, "Hi, I'm probably fuck my name again." Sorry, so I'm
Juice here. Oh no, wait.
Can I say fuck? Sorry.
You can say whatever you. Yeah,
we whatever you want.
Okay.
We make fun of each other's family. Okay. It's not good. It's not good.
Yeah. We hi, Mrs. Is your mom's last name Raghunathan? Probably? Yes. Hi, Mrs. Raghunathan.
Oh, I didn't know your mom was white. I'm sorry.
No, it's fine. No, she's
I'm Nick Ford. I'm really a nice boy. I promise.
Yeah. No, it's totally
okay. Fine. Be the rebel that you really are.
It's okay. She's. I got her into like Slayer and Dragon Force and stuff.
Oh, there you go. Okay.
Like,
she doesn't mess around anymore.
So she's corrupt. She's corrupted already. Okay.
Yes. Yeah. The with Instagram and stuff, it's actually really tiring sometimes to just make a video where I was getting into a groove of just like recording guitar videos, and then lately I've been just recording, and then I was like, okay, I need to put some guitar videos on Instagram, and I'd get really frustrated like trying to record them, and just I was like, you know what, screw this, I'm just gonna go work on music instead of like record for Instagram. And but I was like, wow, it is tiring, because sometimes like I finally figured out like I can use my webcam and then record that into the like the DAW at the same time, or like I can like use QuickTime and then record this into the QuickTime. Or like I can record this into Reaper at the same time, and then like I found a good workflow for like I don't have to send it from my phone to this and that, but it's a lot of work just to. Yeah, I mean I have my interface.
One of these little like cables I just always plug out from my interface into and just so like one of these like I don't know, it's like iRig cable things that you basically just.
Is that for like a dry signal? You mean for
You can do a dry signal if you want to just use like your pedals or whatever on your phone. But I use it just if you plug this into your phone, it ends up taking the input as a mic. It's just a 1/4-inch mono input, and it takes it as the mic. And so I can mic up a guitar. I can go through my Strymon Iridium into either my interface or just directly into this, and it gives me like the sound basically however I'm recording. And that's how I do a lot of my videos. Is just instead of having and it still takes an extra layer
into like TikTok or Instagram with that?
I can. Most of the time, since I'm doing
cool.
2 cameras, this one ends up being like the guitar audio, and then my other camera ends up being my voice audio, and then I can cut between the two.
So you gotta learn from Kano. Kano
definitely takes more time.
Yeah.
I don't learn from. Don't. This is what I'll say.
Well, not you. I need to learn from Kano. You both have good. You both have very good Instagram presences with like your guitar.
I try. I've been slacking a lot there, so I got to get back on that.
I wore that Breath of Wild shirt for you.
You know what? I did notice that. I'm sorry I didn't point out, but I totally did notice it.
I was like, I'm gonna wear all the Breath of Wild stuff. That when you mentioned that, like the game like consumed the last 2 weeks of your life, I was like,
yeah, no, it's weird. I was doing well and I was showering and doing all these great things, and that stopped as soon as that game showed up. It was terrible. It consumed. I mean, really, it was just like, okay, I got 30 minutes here before I can pick up my game. I'm just play a little bit. Terrible. So
yeah,
it's like, hey, oh my god, there's was that?
You can never just play a little bit.
No, it's better played in big chunks. That's what I found. Yeah. I've seen people online say, "Oh, I could pick it up and play for 15 minutes." I guess I'm like, no way. I have to plan on, like, if I want to stop at 1, I got to set my timer for 12:45 because I always got to do I got to climb that mountain or whatever it is.
Yeah, so, I felt like it was like I was. Again, back to how little I work out. I felt like I was working out playing that game. I was like, I just went on a rock climbing trip.
I drop it on my kid. I see a rock in the corner. I'm like, I wonder if there's a Korok seed under that thing. It's like it's affected me in the real world.
Where does that rock go?
I wonder if I climbed over that mountain. It's somebody's person's house, and I'm like,
I wish I found
that house
money
has a lot of
rocks.
lights on it. Is that a shrine?
Yeah, I know. Well, speaking of Breath of Wild, so one of the topics that you mentioned that I think got us all interested was that you're a big fan of video games, but also not just from playing video games, but incorporating, video games into music. I'm curious to hear more about that in terms of like how you've kind of gone about, incorporating guitar into video game music. Do you write for games? That's like what's been your experience with?
I actually have not written for games. I would love to do that sometime. I had a friend who actually made a game, but it was so much work. I think he made like 15% of it, and then he had to just can't because he didn't have enough money and just didn't want to go through with it. But I had a friend who composed the music for that. I did a cover of that. That was fun. So but I just pretty much just learned it for fun and my own services. So I wish I was writing it, but I do enjoy it. So I'm kind of an old school curmudgeon gamer. 80s kid. Hopefully that's okay. I'm allowed in the episode, right?
Yeah, okay.
You're allowed.
Okay, so
I have
if we have outdated Gibson Les Paul headstocks, sorry, Gibson. Then whatever you're doing, whatever you're doing is allowed.
Yeah, right on. So, but yeah, no, I go way back with that. I mean, I got I think my NES I was in 1988, so not right away, but pretty much, and then from that was a big important part until I discovered this, of course, and. Then I quit the football team and sold the Nintendo and did this. But for a while I was all about it.
So sorry, go on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So
Midwest politeness. Oh no, yeah.
No, you go ahead. No, really.
That brings like a couple interesting things. One is because as much as I enjoy video games, right? I don't really ever like delve into the music. So I want to talk about that a little bit, but also. Mm-hmm. I think it's really interesting the point you brought up of when you pick up the guitar, kind of like, at least initially, what other things just kind of go out the window? Because I had the same experience. I grew up with like a PlayStation 1 and, at least, where I grew up, the morning half of kindergarten, you either went in the morning or you went in the afternoon.
I was an afternoon baby.
I was an afternoon kid, but I woke up, popped in Tekken, and we just played until I had to go to school.
Nice.
And then like obviously I continue, and then when I pick up the guitar like around like 9 or 10, like I just stopped playing video games. I felt like for like maybe a year because I was just so interested in like how do you do this thing? Was that like a similar experience for you, Nick?
Yeah, absolutely. It was a little later for me than that, but absolutely. I think I still had the systems and then in college it was just like I don't want to do anything else. This is all I want to do. And so that's what I think I just sold all. I think, I sold all my systems multiple times and bought them back, but so the Nintendo, I probably sold and bought it back. I don't know, 3-4 times. I don't know.
Yeah.
Funko Land. That's what I played.
Funko
You guys
Land.
have Funko Land?
Yeah, man, that took
What
me
do you think
back.
this is? Funko Land?
Yeah, man, that took me right when you said it, I was like, whoa, just like the 90s flashback to me.
So did you sold them back like video game consoles? Have you done the same thing with guitars? Because like I've sold guitars before, but I haven't bought the same one again. And ironically, with you holding an Explorer, I had an Explorer before that I did sell.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's one of those big things where sometimes I'm just playing and it just like the Explorer is so beautifully balanced and it feels like a really gorgeous guitar. And I find myself wanting to buy another one. So have you ever did you ever sell anything that guitar wise that you bought back?
A little bit. I honestly need to do that more because it's one of those things where it's like after a few years, I'm like, how do I have 14 guitars? I guess that one's different. Oh, that, my wife's like, what the hell? Well, that one's like the classical electric. I can't get rid of that one.
Yeah,
just rolled her eyes. So but yeah, no,
that one's in open tuning all the time.
That's my banjo. That's my steel.
I need one in open F. Like
exactly.
What don't you understand?
It's all Fs.
Yes. What's funny? I have that pink guitar I got my daughter. It's an open F right now.
Yeah, you need it. It's an essential.
I needed it this past week. I was teaching Bronny our stomp. There you go. They got like Led Zeppelin and all.
Oh yeah, that was
who is that?
Yeah,
was Jimi Hendrix in that band?
Robert Palmer, I think you're thinking of.
Robert Palmer and
Jimi Hendrix.
Okay, in Tony Osborne, right?
John Bonham Jovi.
John.
That's the best one. Probably had this slip of calling John Mayer John Layer. I think that's gonna be the new one.
Yeah.
John Bonham Jovi.
That's right. Joe Bonham.
Yeah.
Joe Bonamassa.
Yeah. There's a countless number of things you can change with their names. Yeah, buying and selling guitars, it's like, I wonder, this is where it'd be nice to have Zach on since he sells guitars so frequently and he gets into the thing where
he'd be too much of an expert for us.
I know. Finally, we can share our thoughts.
Hi, Zach, if you're watching this.
Yeah, I know. Zach in the audience.
Let's take a crap on Zach. No.
Yeah, crap on Zach.
Well,
30 seconds.
Midwest, we can politely annihilate him. That's what we'll do.
The worst thing I know about Zach Hayes is he just can't play a Honeyburst Gibson Les Paul. Just can't play it.
The boy doesn't open his new gear. He's got an Axe Effects sitting in a box.
Oh, I thought he was using that Axe Effects.
I think he is now after we berated him. And I say that I have a table or desk that I haven't built that's sitting in there that I spent a lot of money on. So I shit on him for all the things that I don't do. I probably do it more. I probably lash out.
No boxes.
I'm sorry, I can't. These guys are making me seriously think about that Axe Effects. I've been thinking about it for a while, and I'm like,
so what's your current setup?
Well, so my current setup is way too overpowered. I have a Splon modified Marshall, which is in like a 4x12 cabinet with green backs. Mean? So it's Splon was a guy who used to work for Marshall. I understand he's got his own company now, but it's just like a hot rodded Marshall, and it's awesome. But it's I'm not playing huge stages anymore. And I have the attenuator, got the ultimate attenuator and stuff like that. And it's just, I'm not playing Madison Square Garden anymore. So it's something smaller is better. And
I'm tempted to ask, did you play Madison Square Garden? Because
I'll let you think about it. No, of course not.
Were you in Led Zeppelin?
I played
the
Madison
fifth member
Square Garden in a small city that also had a Madison Square Garden.
I've been to the train station below Madison Square Garden.
Yeah. I've been in New York once. Actually, it was New Jersey. Does that count?
Yeah, man. I live in Brooklyn, Michigan.
Yeah. So no, I have a Hot Rod Deluxe and I have pedals and stuff. But it's not. I mean, I think since I last got gear, my playing and sound has changed quite a bit, and but mostly. lot of the gigs I'm playing, it's not heavy metal sets. A lot of times it's more blues and jazz and background and that kind of stuff, and playing background for women's choir or whatever, and so a lot of times it's like a Hot Rod Deluxe does the job, something like that. So but it's not really, I love blues and I love jazz, but I'm definitely it's like metal and rocker in my blood. So it's like my personal stuff, I definitely need an update. I love this. I have the Yamaha Thrx right next to me. That's the thing you're hearing on Instagram all the time. That's what you're hearing right now.
Oh, okay. I recommended that for my. That's the little like kind of. It
like
looks like
green.
A head, right?
Yeah, it looks like a head, but
it's got the lights and it glows. There's no tubes, but it looks like there's tubes. Yeah.
Yeah. I was researching amps for a friend who's starting guitar, and their budget was pretty nice for a starting guitar budget. It was definitely better than the Line 6 Spider 3 that I got when I was a kid. And I was that's
the best amp.
Oh, I mean, that is true. I mean, the Insane channel is
the reason why I was asking like what your current setup is and why you want to move to the Axe FX.
So I can convince you about the Line 6 Spider 3.
30 watt Insane channel.
No, 30 watt, metal, dude. Right? 15 watt. That's the one I had.
No, I'm gonna get
splurged.
I'll get the what's that? That infamous metal. The
Boss Metal Zone.
Yeah, get them off. I used to use in middle school. I played in jazz band.
Oh yeah,
and my distortion pedal was a metal zone.
Yes, yes, that's amazing.
But it crapped out on me when I was playing Evil Ways by Santana. We played Evil Ways by Santana, and when I hit it, it just went.
That's so
in front of the whole school.
You got that from
not humiliating.
You got that from Will Smith, right?
No, my crybaby Wah is from Will Smith.
His friend who's named Will Smith, who's a lesser known Will Smith. But
awesome saxophone player.
That Yamaha amp looks super nice. I really want to try that because Yamaha has such good gear for like.
This is like, I mean, it's sort of become it's only a practice app. It's kind of become my sound. I mean, basically it's like early Van Halen sound, and that's what I like. I love it. It's great. I guess if I had my druthers, it'd be a Mesa Mark V.
Nice. Does it take like a tube screamer well?
I guess I haven't really ran a lot of pedals, so to be honest, I tried my my AT Plus that I got, the JHS Andy Timmons pedal, which I love. Actually, the last gig I did, I liked it so much that I just ran that into my head. I liked it better than my head's distortion. So like I said, my sound is actually currently, I'm sort of in between stuff right now, and I love that pedal, but it sounded better just the straight distortion with this one. But this one through a Marshall sounds really, really good. Just through sort of a pedal platform sort of thing. And this one, like I said, I just play it straight up and I mess with the pedal, and it's simple to work with too. And it's not one of those practice amps where like I think I heard you guys saying something about this too with the presets. You turn it on, and it's like it says it's on a clean channel, but it's going wow, wow, wow. It's got a whole bunch of crap going. It's because it's on some preset. You got to save the preset. That drives me nuts.
You got to hold that clean button and turn the chorus
because I'll
off.
have students come in and they have the chorus on. There's a tremolo. They're like, I don't understand. I'm just like, no, you have to turn that crap off. So you have just a clean sound and a distortion sound to start, and then you can go crazy. So anyway, that's a pet peeve of mine. But anyway, so the point is, I would see if I can even.
That's a pet peeve for those modeling amps. Is all the craziness.
Yeah,
but that's awesome.
I really and it's so convenient. And what's so cool now is that like with gigs and stuff, like you're always going to be. I mean, for the most part, you're going to be mic'd for most gigs that you're playing, and I think that enables so much more tonal variety for like playing shows. Because in the past, if you were like using a 4x12 or something like that, just for the virtue of I need to play loud, that changes your tone and stuff too. But now you can like, it's not that a small amp is bad. I grew up thinking that small watt or a small wattage or like a smaller amp is like I need to get like a 120 watt amp. Like I had this 120 watt acoustic.
Sounds
the brand
familiar.
was acoustic. Yeah. I loved that amp, and but yeah, the thing was a pain to carry around. And like now I'm like, Oh man, like an amp like that Yamaha, you're gonna mic it up. It's gonna still sound huge, and
yeah,
if anything, it bites probably really hard. Like sometimes
there's a guy on YouTube that I think is that Cameron Cooper. I think is the guy's name. He plays this thing, and it's part of what kind of sold me. It was that guy, and then Satchel from Steel Panther.
From Steel Panther?
Yeah, he does this whole thing. It's a great ad where he's playing through it, and of course it's just such esoteric humor. It's aimed at us, basically. Yeah. And it's fantastic. I'm like, this thing sounds amazing. And I saw a couple people playing this, like, I got to get this thing. And I think the new one is the Yamaha THR2. So it's when I went to buy it, I was like, I really like the cream one. I really like the green one. It's like, I wish they were bad. And I wish they were one thing. And the guy's like, well, I could sell you both. It's like, well, let's not go crazy.
Hey, relax, man. I already have my 14 guitars at home.
Exactly. Yeah.
I'm getting into XFX territory there.
Yeah. That's right. But no, I think it's, for me, I'm interested in, just changing some things up a little bit. I'm definitely in that mode. But see, I have kind of like, not the problem a lot of guitar players. I'm really careful. I'm like, I don't want to spend money. I'm just like, I'll just do whatever with whatever I have. It almost to a detriment. So like, I really
That's a good thing.
I feel like
you'd think so.
This whole podcast started because we all have dicey decisions with our finances, and
I feel like I'm like I'm when the levee breaks. Like it's just like hold it together. Okay, probably Zach. I'm gonna buy an Epiphone SG.
Yeah,
I bought a Gibson.
Kanem all of a sudden one day it's like, so I'm gonna spend $1,000 at Guitar Center. What should I get? And it's like, okay,
yeah.
Well, first I said it was like I just want to get an Epiphone SG, some better like monitors. And
it was like Christmas and
like what was the other thing? Was it headphones or a slash wah? I wanted speakers / wah Epiphone SG, and they immediately I was like, is there anything I can get for like an extra $100? And they were just like, what if you got a different guitar? What if you got like different speakers?
All I was saying is ditch the speakers,
wah?
ditch the wah, and upgrade the guitar.
But all in all, like the whole thing was just like I asked you guys an extra $100, not redo my whole car.
Oh no, yeah.
Right.
Well, it's also
did by the end of the day.
I mean, it's also living vicariously through someone else's financial stuff. So like, it's much easier to be like, you don't need the speakers, just upgrade that guitar to an even nicer guitar, and then like not think about the value add that it actually has to your setup and stuff.
Yeah, for sure.
This whole thing really started from us. We text each other about gear and like, oh man, I think I'm gonna buy it. It's like a support group / podcast.
Yeah.
Guitars Anonymous.
Yeah. Guitar gear addicts Anonymous. Yeah.
And quarantine definitely affected that for me, because there was a while where I wasn't spending that much on gear. I mean, I think spending on the XFX definitely like opened that thing where I was like, ooh. But even then, I spent on a nice thing, and then I haven't bought like an amp and stuff since. But then quarantine, I've bought 3 guitars now, and I was like, wow, like
guitar sales have gone through the roof in quarantine,
which is ironic to me, because like you can't try guitars. So like I bought like this Majesty.
Do you not think about the return policy? Like my whole thing is like, if a place has a solid return policy, I'll probably buy for you. Because
but I don't like money leaving my account and then having to bank on returning it.
The one time I did that too, I had to pay the shipping, and it was like I was out $80 for a guitar I didn't want. It was like,
and then I have that thing where I get it, and then I'm like, should I just keep it? And it's very like like the thing of like the attachment comes in, and then you're like like with the first I got a Gibson SG, and I'm always haunted with Gibson SGs, because like every time I try to buy one, something weird has happened. Like it hasn't showed up, or then I try to fly back to Michigan and there's a snowstorm and I couldn't go. Like something crazy has always happened. And I got mine, and then they said it was mint condition on Reverb, and there's like a crack in the headstock or neck or something.
Yeah.
And then I had that thing where I was like, should I just say whatever? And then I was like, no, I've come this far. I'm gonna get a new one. I went to Sweetwater. I was like, I'm just gonna get it new. But like, I mean, sometimes with but with buying online, it's so easy to just, especially setting up like Apple Pay or something like that. It's just like, ooh, I want this, and then you're like a beer in or 2 beers in, and then you're just like, ooh.
I've learned to be. I think that's what it is. It's not that I've never done that before. That's happened. It's happened in recent time. It happened with the most probably recent was the Boss Katana Mini, which is the other. So that one and the Yamaha Thrx 10X that was because for a while I teach lessons
like
away.
A practice amp, right?
Yeah. It's like this big. It's like lunchbox. And it's like 7 simulated watts, and I constantly have to turn that thing down. It's awesome. It sounds great. And I was like, I gotta try this. And I tried it in the store. People thought I was playing a huger amp and whatever. So, but I used to have those for my lessons. I used to carry big amps, and I'm like, what am I doing? And I just finished. I got a suitcase and put these 2 in there, and it's like it sounded way better and whatever. So just got rid of the crappy practice Marshall amps from 1990 whatever. That just sounded okay. It's like, no, these things sound amazing, and they're this big, so.
I feel like that's like just the progression of like solid state stuff because, I mean, like that was like the first tube amp I got. I actually, but when I went to go buy my other guitar recently, I had another Marshall Origin, and what's so funny when you're talking about like low watt amps, like that had an attenuator on it that could go down to like 0.7 watts.
What does that mean? Like, what does an attenuator do?
So it basically allows you to push your amp super hard. So a lot of those bigger amps, like the 100-watt Marshall kind of things, they sound amazing when you crank them up, but they're just way too loud. So like Eddie Van Halen famously did that one where I think he got like I forget what kind of attenuator that was. It wasn't specifically for guitar or anything, but basically it allows you to push the amp super hard but control the volume. So because when you play a lot of those amps on a low volume, it's not the same tone.
Changes the tone too.
It's not even close. It's like crappy. So, but that's what that does. It's pretty rad.
So to that point, the DSL line, I think it actually does a pretty great job of keeping a lot of the tone. Like obviously when I'm playing live, it has a better tone, but I can play that amp at like apartment volumes, no problem. The Marshall Origin 20, great amp. You can put it down to an attenuator of like 0.7 amps. Still 0.7 amps sounds loud as hell. Because like that one was like you had to crank the power section to get like a good sound out of it. Like I'm thinking like more like classic Zeppelin sounds, and that's what you could really get out of it, or really classic AC/DC sounds. And we had to really crank it. And I was like, I can't be doing that all the time in my apartment. And so that I ended up selling it, but it just I guess to that the thing about the axe effects. When
I said axe effects earlier, I already saw Kanem roll his eyes like, he's mentioned it already.
I had to bring it up because I know I've been thinking about it. I've been listening to you guys too, and kind of go back and forth on it. And it's like, and I got a buddy too, swears by it. And I've taken the Pepsi challenge auditory online. It's like, he's like, watch these guys play. Are they playing amps or axe effects? I have no idea. It sounds amazing.
The big thing too is what you're talking about, a practice amp. To me, it's just a lot of it is also convenience of like, I like from a recording standpoint, super nice that I can record just the straight in, and I don't have to worry about miking. I don't have to.
Right.
And to me, there's the value part of like, it's a lot of money, but like two tube amps can be $2,000 pretty easily.
A lot of maintenance.
Yeah, a lot of it can be a lot of maintenance, and then like you said, to actually get the tone, and then the tone is also shaped so much by the mics that you're using and all that kind of stuff for like a cab and.
Have you ever burned out 3? What was it? Fuses right at the beginning of rehearsal.
Don't jinx me. I've not burned out a fuse yet. I haven't.
That happened to me plenty of times. I had lots of. I was like 3 of. Are you kidding me? What's going on with this amp? So
you like you just have to like take your amp to like a luthier, like electrician.
You normally, if you're a good guitarist, you have spare
amp
fuses,
tech,
or you know how to do it. Yeah,
tubes.
I'm not good at that kind of stuff.
I am not that guy either. I'm horrible. So I'm completely dependent on other people, which is maybe another reason why I should be looking at more digital stuff.
I mean, I do.
The problem is sorry.
No. I do have like a voltmeter and stuff, but I've never changed it out myself. I've always taken it in, much like you.
Yeah.
What were you gonna say? Sorry.
No. Yeah, I was just gonna say it's not. that's not me. I'm not going to go back there. It's like, part of it's like, you could electrocute yourself and die. I'm like, well, let's not do that.
That, and you can just you can make it so much worse too.
Yeah.
I think that's the thing. Is like, replacing a tube, might cost more taking that to the shop. But if I try to do it myself and I fry something that I don't know what I did, I'm going to have to take it to the shop to replace the tube and then fix something that might be more. God forbid that you damage your current transformer in your amp.
Yeah,
because that's the main thing that so like your amp is like steps up voltage. Like your guitar produces voltage, and the preamp and power amp section of your amp step up voltage. Now, when you're putting that through the speaker, it has to convert the voltage into like the high voltage into high current. So the current transformer is like normally like the most expensive and actually probably the part that you want to be the best in your amp, so that your speaker ends up sounding the best.
You gotta chop this up and make it into those educational TikTok videos you were talking about. I was like, yeah, we're I was like, yeah, step one, the beat. Amp is great. Yeah, exactly, yeah, like 3 steps to make your tube amp better.
I just made it so uncool.
That'd be sick. That's a good idea. Like, yeah, want to make your tube amp sound better?
Don't skimp on your power transformers.
Yeah, exactly.
They will destroy you.
You gotta do this, Kanum. You gotta start how to install a pickup.
Me and Nick gotta do this. We got this.
Yeah, there you go. So I was gonna say that I do have some interest in that, but it's just like I said, it's not my specialty. But I think I would, if I was gonna get into it. There's so many cool like amp kits that you can get where they send you all the pieces and they give you all the instructions, and I've seen a lot of that kind of stuff on YouTube lately, and it's really, really cool. I mean, I think that would probably just kind of like they have guitar kits, they got amp kits, and you can build a basic, Fender kind of style amp. And that's pretty rare. I might be interested in that kind of thing someday. But so I don't know. So I guess
I'll chime in for Zach, or you could just get an Axe-Fx.
So you have the
Strymon Iridium.
Oh yeah, so that I wanted to ask about, because I keep hearing you say that. I actually don't know. I know Strymon the company, but not the.
It's a basically like it's like the poor man's Axe-Fx. It's
okay. Describe it without Axe-Fx in the word, man. You give it some justice, man. So, it's a cool pedal.
Yeah. Let me put it to you this way: it's the bridge, and that's why I was asking you what stuff do you have. Like I have a full pedal board. Also, since I live in New York, a lot of times if I go practice or play with a band in rehearsal, I'm just going to some band room that already has a Marshall 4x12 or Orange 212 or something like that, and I'm plugging into that. So I'm using my pedal board for most of my gain and distortion anyways. So if you want to like record or even play like directly in or even through a PA, right? The Strymon Iridium has a couple of amps, 3 amps, like a Fender, I think it's Reverb, Vox AC30, and like a Marshall Super Lead.
Yeah, cool.
No, Marshall Plexi. Sorry, not Super Lead. Mm-hmm. It has those 3 amps, and then you can, in any of the amps, you can set up 3 different IR cab sims. So you can change them yourself, but there's like default ones. Like I normally use the Marshall, and I think I have like greenbacks and like an AC not AC30, Veteran 30 or V30 speaker, Celestion V30 speaker. Those are like some of the different cab sims I like to use. So it kind of, to me, it bridges that gap. The thing with the Axe-Fx for me is like there's so much, and I feel like from some of the like older Digitech sort of cab and amp simulator pedals I've had in the past, having a lot of options wasn't necessarily the best for me. Like,
sure.
Just give me the highlights. Most of the time, I probably just want a Marshall. The AC30 is such a versatile, well, not versatile, but such a specific amp. Even like the way the feedback loop works in and everything. That's great to have. And then if I'm just playing pedals, give me a Fender clean amp. And so that's what it gives you. And so it's like $400, and you get all of that. Now you can record directly in through your interface. There's a lot that you can do in terms of changing the amp cabs. You can even like sometimes I'll run from the FX out of my amp into the Iridium and bypass the amp in the Iridium and just use the cab. And so now I'm basically using a cab simulator, but using my real amp.
Oh, that's cool. Wow. Yeah.
And the only thing I'll say, the fancy trick I do with that is I use like a stereo. I use like a stereo chorus pedal. I keep it off, but one loop goes into my Iridium. The other one goes through like basically a mute switch back into the power section of the amp. So now I can really crank the amp, really get a good sound, and just record directly in and be dead quiet. And so
that's cool. Yeah.
I feel like it's the middle gap if you don't want to spend the Axe FX money, but you'll constantly be berated by your two friends to buy an Axe FX.
Well, the thing too with the Axe FX is like, so it gives you versatility, but it also can hinder that a lot. I found where like if one of the fun parts about having an amp and pedals and stuff is that you can swap things out on the go kind of fast. Like if you're at practice or something and you want to like change something up or whatever, like it does get a little harder to, go through menu screens, go into the block, tweak that thing. It's really easy to swap things, or like so when I use it on a computer or when I use it for recording, I plan on like I'm just gonna I just pretty much rack it in, have it plugged USB, and then I can just like change all the effects on a computer, and that's way easier for me. But in terms of using, I don't like the interface as much. Like it's a beautiful screen and interface and all that stuff, but in terms of modifying things on it, it does take a little bit of that joy away of like, if you were to like, it's really hard to like, if I'm at band practice and I want to switch, not the preset, but just switch something out in the thing, in the like the chain that I have, it gets really annoying with like little like the little like twisty knobs to like have to go press it and all that kind of stuff. Whereas like if you want to play around with that on the fly, that kind of stuff, that's the fun part of having an amp or like some of the other stuff that's out there too, like the neural DSP and stuff have like a touch screen and or like the Helix and stuff like have this touch screen, which I think makes it more conducive to what the like an amp, if you're gonna go with a modeler or something like that, or if you're gonna go with the Iridium, it's like it's an amp, it's an amp and a cab, and that to me then it allows you to have your own pedal board still with it, treat it like it's an amp and a pedal really. And like I think that has a lot of convenience rather than like when me and Haley play like farmers markets and stuff, I like lug this Axe FX around and I'm like, man, this is like the first time I bought it, I played outside in the summer and it was 100 degrees and I was like, I'm gonna fry this fucking computer like this. And I was like, why? I don't really need this. I just bought a bunch
of fans for it and stuff.
Yeah, I know. I think we had like a fan.
Can you wave this big
exactly
like, for me?
And we were playing outside. I had it under a tree, like shaded, and I was like, and like for those kind of things, there's so much that would be nice. That would just be nicer to just have a pedal and plug that into the PA speaker that they have, and then that's it. And like, no, so I never shit on the Iridium. I think it's awesome. We just like feeling better about our $2,000 in the negative.
Just give it a couple months. You guys are both gonna own one of each.
Yeah,
I bet. We're gonna break each other down at some point and just.
I've actually been
Please send money to us.
Yeah, right. That's right.
This whole conversation, I've been just practicing your riff, and it's like it's actually a great passive like thing to do while like to just like it's simple enough to like to just like I'm looking at the screen and I can see my fingers and I'm like, okay, cool, and it's really like limbering up my hand, in terms of like switching between the two. And I'm like, oh, like there was this one John Petrucci video that I saw it's like that 1 hour lesson that's from like the early 90s or whatever, and like the first 20 minutes are
discipline.
Yes. Yeah. And
I have the VHS.
Oh wow, yeah, and like that first 20 minutes, I remember watching it like last summer, and I'm like, he's like stretch. I'm like, when is he gonna get to the thing? When is he gonna get to? He's like, now you gotta massage your hand, and I was like, all right, come on, man. And then when he starts, he's just like, okay, so we're gonna play this thing, and I'm like, oh god, I'm sorry, go back to the hand stretches.
I should have been massaging more.
Yeah, and like this reminds me of that word, because he had this one that was like this, and then you go out, and then you go in and out, and like this kind of reminds me of that.
It's
like
it's probably this one where
that thing. You're doing it effortlessly. Yeah,
it's that stretchy one. Yeah, no, it's
like that, and then you switch these two in the middle, right? And then you switch these two.
I remember that. Yeah, it was like something like that.
Yeah, it's like it's a puzzle, and you keep going like up and down.
Yeah, it's been a while since I have to look that one up again. It's a good one.
Yeah.
There's like the Joe Satriani one that just the.
Yep.
That one's really cool, actually.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
I love this one though. It's like because it's
makes you want to move it around. What happens if you do it in G?
Ooh. one up.
Oh, that's awesome.
Or
that's
if you
the way to like descend into insanity. And then
yeah. I like an F too. Let's see. Yeah. Anyway, you go nuts with that stuff. I love those open strings against it too, against the pentatonics, because every one of those notes is different. You know.
Yeah.
It's pretty pedestrian notes on the B and the E. But if you move it to say, like let's say the G, you get into open B, so you get. That's pretty wild. So that's that's a fun thing I enjoy too, is what your open strings are. I guess pentatonic specifically,
Open, I mean that's the thing with like I found with hybrid picking was like I love Mastodon. That's one of my favorite bands.
Yeah,
and Brent Hines does some like I think there's a song called Cavalarian Crest.
Caleb, that would be a good person to toast, I think.
Oh yeah, we never did our.
My beer is getting cold.
I didn't want to.
We never
want to interrupt anyone.
I thought it's flowing. Yeah, sorry.
I thought. We can do it.
I've been cut so hard by like overwhelming people.
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
let's do it.
Yeah, I mean we can do a mid show.
I've been kind of looking down, like, oh man, it looks so cold. But
I'm already done with my Red Bull. I'm like hyped up. I'm ready to go.
All right, let's do this. A toast to the lords and ladies of music. Please guide us on our musical journey and be kind to us as we finally drink. Nick, who would you like to toast this week?
I would like to toast Michael Ackerfeld of Opeth. Thank you for the awesome music. And I'm drinking, and of course, this is the.
Yeah.
Prabhu, who would you like to toast?
Well, now that you mentioned now that we've gotten to the topic of Mastodon, I will the 900th time I'll toast to Brent Hines and Bill Keller from Mastodon, but also Charlie Puth. I'm taking his music production songwriting class, and his pop writing skills are just insane. He's so cool. Yeah, so Charlie Puth and Mastodon. That'd be a collab I would love to see.
Charlie Puth and Mastodon.
Yeah.
It'd be a very interesting, different collab.
All right, and I'm panicking now because I didn't think it through. I'm gonna do Jared James. I've listened to his music a little bit. I think I hopefully had that right. Jared James, the blues guitarist.
Is that Jared James Nichols?
Jared James Nichols. Thank you.
Yeah. Right.
I apologize, Jared James Nichols, when you're eventually going to watch this, obviously. But I really dig his guitar, where it's just like a single P90 Les Paul, very clean. I like the designs of it. So
no pick. He doesn't play with a pick, I think.
Yeah, that too. Yeah. Doesn't play with a pick.
He's a badass. He's so awesome.
When you talk about I think when I was thinking about your intro riff as well, Nick, the spacing of how you played things, paying attention not only to the cluster of notes, but also like the distances and the silences between notes. I feel like he does a really good job of that as well, where it's like he gets really wild on something, a really wild bend, keeps it going, then goes through 10 million notes, and then he comes to a single note that he lets breathe. He does a really good job of entertaining and then letting there be a breath in between what he's doing. So thank you guys for all being on. So cheers to you all, and cheers to all of our heroes. Have a good one.
I do have one more toast, actually, to Zach Hayes.
Zach Hayes?
Yeah, to Zach Hayes, our
Now like the ninth best guitarist.
He's kept his position because he's at a rehearsal. He's out there making something out of music and working. He's actually out there playing shows and doing stuff.
Hey man, there's a responsibility in.
Yeah, you know what? You're right. Fuck Zach Hayes. He's like the worst.
You can't just make rules. Probably you can't just make rules and break rules. You know?
Fuck him.
Dedicate to something like releasing something in April, or you owe someone money.
I know. Oh yeah. So
stick to it.
we have a little challenge.
Release challenge.
Yeah, Kanem and I don't know why I'm gonna bow out of this thing hard because
you're gonna bow out now.
Oh, okay, no, I'll get my challenge done, but we're trying to get each other to stick to our release schedules for things. So we're introducing a little positive reinforcement is good, but sometimes a little bit of negative consequence.
Is there money on the line too?
Oh yeah, there is. So the money goes to Zach, the third party who's not involved at all.
That makes it so much worse.
Yeah, exactly. It was, and we both failed it last month, and it was so hard to do that Venmo.
I paid Zach.
PayPal. Yeah. I was trying to weasel my way out of it.
Prabhu has also some sort of
I set some
deal.
buy one get if I do 2 songs in 1 month, and then I'll get do double or nothing. Yeah, some BOGO kind of.
I failed. Here's my money. Better luck next time to me. I need to have the consequence. If I don't respect the consequence, then how will I ever pull through?
Yeah.
No, mad respect for doing that. That's a super cool idea, you guys.
Yeah, and the best.
It's super cool, but I have less money now.
Yeah, and Zach has more money.
It came as you just like, I'm gonna get the newest installment of Axe Effects now. I'm just gonna think of you the whole time while I do it.
Basically, yeah. I'm
definitely
gonna release something. I don't care.
And we have to watch Zach spend that money on things that we probably would also want, like a new guitar or something like that.
So
go
on, P.
I was just gonna talk about I was gonna mention some of the riff with what I loved about it too is it starts with this like country vibe, but then when you take it down to that or whatever that, and then it goes into like, or what was it? I think of it like it almost goes into this like Eastern European like.
Yeah, totally. I love like classical and neoclassical stuff, and definitely thinking about that. And it's actually
harmonic minor, I think.
Yeah, harmonic minor for sure. And that for me, I think most of the progressions of the song sort of end with that because it goes from there. It's an F sharp minor song, but after it goes, it goes. So the thing I really wanted to show you guys is within this song, I had the turnaround to the thing I was getting to. Does this thing? It's like one of my favorite progressions, and it gets into that minor 7/5/5 sound, sort of, except that's not exactly the chord. So the end of that, let's see, I think I was. Let's see, it goes. Let's see. So that the progression I really like, and this is actually a weird chord I got to show you guys too, because I just found this and it's so weird. I actually had to. So I mean, I know my music theory really well. I'm kind of a music theory nerd, and I actually had to look this up because I'm like, is this what this really is? So check this out. So the first part of it is playing an F sharp minor, and then normally when you go to D, right, that kind of progression, or major 7. Though it's to do D7, so you get this.
It's kind of like this.
Yeah, that's right. So
it's very Beatlesy.
Yeah, I got that from a lot of like blues and jazz songs do that, and it's basically you can just play blues, so you can play and you get pretty. Actually, hold on, let me get. So it's a cool sound. And what you could do that minor 7 flat 5 to come back to that. So check this out. I'm going to take this up and show you the guys because I really like this sound. Yeah. So you take like your normal minor pentatonic, right? Yeah, that's kind of your.
Yeah.
Yep. So you got that over F sharp minor, and then when you go to the D7, the change you want to make is that C sharp becomes a C. So if you do that within your scale, you get an altered pentatonic. You get. So, yeah, so in this case, I get rid of the C sharp, so I'm coming down, I go.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
I've never thought about, that's actually interesting. I never think about taking away notes for that. Like I'll use that note that like, but I'll always go back to, I'll go back to the same notes. I only add a note. I've never replaced the note like that. Like,
yeah. So you create a really interesting, and that came to the reason I brought up the minor 7 flat 5 because that's what that is. It's if you just that's a minor 7 flat 5 arpeggio just with one extra note. And it can be, it can also be kind of a like Wes Montgomery used that sound, so it's very much like a, it's that's not a very West kind of sound, but he used that quite a bit, over sort of 7th kind of sounds. So that works because it's like a D9 kind of sound.
Yeah,
and it's a good way to get. I don't know. This is another thing too, like melodic minor, like jazz melodic minor. If you guys know that sound. It's like when you have the, let's see, if I'm doing F sharp, it'd be, it's kind of a little odd, but that's what you can do over this particular one. That's not the right, hold on a second. That's not right. It's actually, sorry, it'd be A. It should be, A melodic minor, which is this kind of sort of sound like that. And it's one of those things that took me the longest time to figure out. But this is a situation you could do it in a rock context. All you have to do is change one note. So you get this it's pretty stretchy down here, but down up here it's not too bad. So you could take like a sequence like and then just to kind of it just gives it a kind of a fresh sound.
So you don't play that, right?
Yeah, you just kind of leave that out. Yeah, that's it.
Do you hit the C like what? The C would be on the
D7 chord. Yeah.
Do you hit that same C when you get lower? Because like I think about it.
You can play
lower. Well, that's an awesome use of the tritone there.
Yeah, totally. It's very evil, and so that one, James, I really want to show you because it's such a cool sound there, and to get more of that jazz minor sound, if you do that from the 5th string, like you could. Yeah, it's more like the minor pentatonic from the 5th position. You can do that same thing there and include this note. There's that chain. So you get something like this. You include the 9th in there. Pretty. So you kind of playing around with. Actually, I saw you play this in the clip. So it's like kind of like if you're playing around this like F sharp minor, and you're doing. That's the lower end of it. Yeah, or sorry, playing like from 1st finger on the 9th fret. Yep, that's it. And then use it instead of playing. You can play. Yep, and then you have this on top.
need to take lessons from you.
The way my brain thinks.
So
I already feel better at guitar.
Yeah, no. And the cool thing is you can do all the same patterns, all the same stuff. But keep in mind, it's actually, so we're kind of hearing this, I think, right now. Like I'm kind of hearing, but we're actually playing over this D chord. So if you kind of hear it over. So it's a really cool.
Oh, that's cool.
Do you want me to like play the chord progression? I'm just gonna do F minor to D7 a little bit.
Yeah, sure.
And you can jam to it.
Yeah, sure. Go for it.
Whoa.
Yeah.
And it lined up with Zoom pretty well. Like,
yeah,
I was surprised.
That was pretty good. Yeah. It's always fun to play with another person. It's been a while. So
take this back to the video games. This sound that reminded me of one of those like sinister like cave levels in like Pokemon or something
totally,
like that,
totally.
like some boss battle or something like that. That's
okay,
like
yeah.
the lead up to it. And I was like, whoa,
yeah.
that sounds so cool because that chord, it adds so much more than the.
It's one of my favorite substitutions. I love that progression. I've used it in other songs of mine before, but one thing I made a discovery with this chord though. So this is where it gets a little weird. So you can actually play. So let me play this for you first. Okay. So this is a thing I discovered. So you can play. So that is a dominant seventh with a major seventh, which should not work.
How do you do that?
So what that means is you have that 5-4-5 business, and then you have a C sharp right here that's your major seventh.
Oh, you're playing that on there. Okay.
Yeah, so I have both in there at the same time. You can also play the open strings; those sound good.
Wait, so it's 5 on the A string,
Yeah, so
4
you got
on the D string, 5
on the G
string,
and then 2 and 2 on the top. Is it basically that's all coming from the blues scale?
Whoa, that's super trippy.
Yeah, so it's like that. So you can throw that in there. That So yeah, I was like, so I look up like dominant seventh with a major seventh, and every Google answer was like, no, the difference between these things is they're different chords. No, at the same time. So that would definitely fit with the video game boss.
the dissonance of infinite lives that the video game boss always has.
That's right, of pure evil.
Of pure evil and
that's right.
Video game controller breaking power as you throw it against the wall.
Yeah.
Dark Lord Ganondorf or whatever. Yes.
Yeah, that's I feel like I'm so lost on the fretboard right now where I'm like I don't even know where I'm at or like what key I'm playing in.
Yeah. So like, this is all F sharp. If you're related to that's kind of the frame of reference that's helpful to grab onto. That was what this business. It's all the same.
It breaks that. But I definitely have that, like, the habit where I fall into that, like, the box mentality of like, all right, yeah, it's this one, and then I add those little like things where I'll like stuff. Like I said, I'll add notes, but then I don't change the frame of reference of like. What say it, Kanem? You have a sassy comment.
Did Zach plan this for just Nick to actually? Zach's like, they need to learn how to play. Then they
I know this is nice though. This is
so that's a weird one. I that's like I said though. This song is really new. I mean, basically, it was kind of like like I said, I was coming off of Breath of the Wild and playing that. I was like, I got to start actually playing my instrument at night as opposed to playing Breath of the Wild for 3 hours. And this song is one of the things I was born from it. And it's so fresh. I thought it'd be fun to show. And like I said, I used this thing, the F sharp minor to the D7, which works well for, like I said, a lot of like soul and jazz and blues. But I like using it in metal because that's kind of the music that I play. But I just made that discovery where you can play the major 7 on that. And it's weird. It's like usually you got to be Miles Davis or something to make something like that work,
So it's like a D7. It's a D minor 7 major 7 chord. Is what you characterize?
It's a major chord, but it has a flat 7 and a major 7. So it's actually the way I'm hearing it is a dominant 7th, which is the flat 7 with an additional major 7 on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The thing I love about this chord right now, at least, is you've put it in such a context, especially for me, is like, okay, I'm in the key of F minor. Now this is my, dominant chord.
Yeah.
I can take that anywhere now. And that's what's so cool about, like, if I go to A, okay, A minor, but dominant's going to be E.
Or F7. Yep.
F7? Oh,
yeah, so that one, it's actually, it's on the flat 6 in this case. And the normal 5 chord that's kind of your typical.
Yeah.
Like that.
It's on the flat 6, yeah.
Yeah, so that's kind of what makes it that bluesy sound. So, yeah.
What's tripping me up right now is like I'm playing this, and then I'm like, wait, I'm back to where we began with the.
Yeah. Yes. That is deliberate, my friend.
Yeah, and I'm like, oh my god, I'm back to like my little tick with the.
Okay, so I have one more. Sorry, go ahead. You go ahead.
I have a quick question.
Yeah.
Like, can you tell us like the plots of the next like 5 Marvel movies? Because obviously you know every answer to the universe.
No, man.
I'm dying to know what happens to Black Widow, man.
What was the name of your book again? It was called Learning the Fretboard.
It's a work in progress, but it's basically right now it's just NOFB. So notes of the fretboard.
Notes of the fretboard.
That's the working title.
And what inspired you to write that was kind of, you were talking about like there's stuff that's just like, oh, you can memorize it, but it sounds like the approach you're taking is more actually understanding what you're doing.
Yeah, no, it goes deeper than that because you can memorize the fretboard and kind of find things pretty quickly, but to really know it, I mean, it's just not how it works. I mean, even out of Berkeley, there were some notes that I was like, why do I suck at A sharp? Why am I slower at that note? It's not that I can't find it. I know A is here and then A sharp is, that's too slow. That's not fast enough. If you need A sharp, it's that. Music is not like, oh, hold on, Everest, let me think about this. Let's stop the train.
It is in my world.
Can you stop your mojo for a second so I can figure out my shit? No, you got to know it. So like for me, and actually funny enough, the whole project started with somebody just asking about, he's like, I've had a hard time with this and how do I do this? And I had a whole bunch of material. I sent him some material. I said, I should really put something together on this because I'm interested in it. And I've done a ton of work on it. So I have exercises like that too. So that all kinds of stuff like that too. And some of the classic ones like you're doing, which is A on every string, stuff like that, or octaves.
I've never done that. That's a good exercise.
I
skipped a lot of that stuff because I learned by myself.
So you got to work harder because you got the 7-string, right? Or is that 8-string?
Yeah, I mean this is a 7-string. Well, I usually
you gotta get all the A's.
I've been tuning this to an E, so it'll be like.
Oh man, so
it actually makes it way easier to think about. So I just think of it as like that, and then I can hit that, and I'm still there.
Oh, that tracks amazingly well.
Yeah, I mean that's the
wow.
My plug for the Matt Ernie Ball Music Man Majesty.
Well, I just can't believe that's not like mush because you're coming from B, right? That's a 7-string.
Oh yeah, it's and I've got standard strings on it. I've got
that's
like
insane,
56 on here.
I had that issue because I was teaching.
Wait, let me get a better tone on
Animals as Leaders came out in 2007, 2008, and I had students who wanted to learn it right away. So 8-string guitar, you couldn't go buy one at, you know what I mean? You had to special order one for $5,000, and there was 2 you could buy: the Meshuggah model or the Tosin Abasi model. And it's not like today where. So I had 7, I had 2 of them, and I was like, I can't get these things to play an F sharp like that. It was just, and so it was. I had a hard time teaching. I was like, well, I can show you the riff here, whatever.
Oh yeah,
not the same.
Well, it keeps it, and when you play the 7-string too with the E, when I realized I could drop it to E, then because I would get into a thing where if I kept it in drop A, like how I had it, then treating it like a 6-string, I was so lost because I was like, wait, where am I? But here, it's like even if I'm clumsy and I'm trying to play, and then it's just like, okay, it's like,
yeah,
it's the same thing. So I could play a normal G power chord, but then I can just add that.
I love that.
That's freaking awesome. That sounds so good.
With that whammy.
Yeah.
Or wait, I gotta do the dive bomb. That's my favorite on here with the lows. Yeah, when you do the like the little or like the the noise. Oh, that's why the volume's down. I was like, why is it like the?
So when are you writing Doom Eternal 2?
Hey, I'm working on some stuff for that. I'm working on some. I've been getting when you mentioned video games, I was so excited about it because that's what I'm trying to like move my music career towards. With producing and stuff like that, I really want to get into like video game compositions, and that's what I've been trying to like pitch and sell recently. Is like the video games. Well, what's cool about your stuff is so like I'm getting into writing for stuff like that, but I'm so bad at playing video game music and like what I loved about your stuff is you had like like that one Zelda one and like things like that where I was like, man, that's really complex. Like that, like just that little jingle. I was like, man, the appreciation like for that. I kind of overlook that when I play a game or
that it's so weird. And actually, I went. I mean, that's actually it brings me back to circle back to some of you guys were talking about like with putting so much effort into videos. That one, like with YouTube, that was a lot of work, and it's got like 200 views. It's like, oh man, I understand that's part of the game. You just have to be consistent, but it's like, oh crap, because I think I wrote out like 20 different ways to play that lick because it's like, it's just really, let's see if I can even do it like that. It's really, this, and I wrote, I was like, how do you actually accomplish this? So there's a lot of different ways, but it makes you appreciate the like those things in like smaller I love that you have those Instagram videos because like to me what I love about those are guitar videos that like as a guitar nerd I scroll through that all day and I look at people shredding all day, but like if I were to show it to like a family that's all I look at on Instagram is this. But like for I don't know like a family member or something that doesn't play guitar that you had that one that was the iPhone ringtone like and I was like that's just cool like it's like anyone who watches like most people will recognize that thing and when they actually are seeing you playing it to me I was like wow I didn't think my alarm clock was that like technical I'm gonna be less annoyed now when I wake up at like 7 in the morning like it's just asking that question like what is this that I'm hearing it's like and that was the idea with that post is like always be ear training. It's like can you sort that out, and it's a little like I use this example all the time. It's like I would never teach a lesson of hot cross buns because my student who wants to learn Enter Sandman would say okay goodbye, I don't want lessons from you anymore. But I would say, okay, well, as ear training, this is the major scale. Do you know where that is? Oh, don't? Okay, well, that's how you practice stuff like that. And I'm not going to play hot cross buns now, but the point is that's where that's
you gotta come back with like a really technical version.
Yeah. But yeah.
You need that,
the
that
Gen
flat
version
chord, man. The flat 6.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
No, it's just polyrhythmic.
With a flat 7 and a major 7.
Yeah. Yeah, it's that's one of those things, like theoretically it's like that should not work. That's like wrong, but it's the mystery of music, you know.
Did you like find that out yourself? Because you were talking about how, like, I mean, one of my favorite chords has become the like. So if I'm in E, I'll stick in F.
Yeah.
F sharp.
Mm-hmm.
So if I'm in F sharp, the second chord, I think maybe part of the reason why I really like is because it fits into the scale so well.
Yeah.
But using the flat 5, flat 7.
Oh yeah.
When you mentioned that, like, that's why I like that chord, but like it doesn't expand on what you're doing, like the flat
6, yeah, and I think that the reason why is because it's all diatonic, which means it just means it's from the scale. So that's like the 2 minor, and then it wants kind of, yeah.
Man's playing my chords better than me.
Your song is like genre agnostic. It's like it's you can redo those chords, and like you've played it already in like 3 different ways, and it sounds different. Yeah,
that minor 7 flat 5, it can be kind of, so it's cool that you dig that one. Again, and actually mine's that D7, but really it's that minor 7 flat 5 sound. So it's very, I love that sound. And I love doing that on dominant chords too, because you can, if you know that, you can play all kinds of things that are not just that sound. So yeah, definitely.
But where did you pick that out? Did you just make that completely yourself? Because like,
I'm trying to think. Where did I picked out so I think the first time I used it in a song was a song called was it oh shoot, I'm trying to remember the song. It's not Cannonball, it's whatever the song. Oh, it's a song called Black Hole. This was before the Neil deGrasse Tyson obsession, but it was this again, you'll hear that sound. It was in G sharp minor, so there it is. So that gets that like jazz melodic minor sound, which is kind of, for
like
me, it was really
too, right? Like
that's right. I love my waltz time. That's
cool.
This new one's doing that too. Yeah.
Yeah. It like, I was noticing the feel too. It just has like, it just swings like it's a, I don't know, like
I love that
carnival
sound
or something.
Yeah, no, it's like the Iron Maiden waltz or something. That's a big part of. Yeah. I almost have to try to kind of go away from it. Yeah, I just said. I don't know.
Iron Maiden on the sea.
That's right. Yeah.
Iron Maiden live at the Apollo.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I love having changes like that because it you sort of have to you have to play those changes. You have to kind of get into how do you make it sound like you're playing over this thing and not just kind of blasting one scale over, because that doesn't necessarily work. Although with my recent discovery, kind of does work, because if you play that note, that's a very you can do that. So I mean, it's again, I mentioned Miles Davis before. His thing was like you could play any note over it just as long as you're kind of resolving it right, or you're playing it like you effing mean it.
Yeah.
I think of the Stevie Ray Vaughan one where it's like, if I miss a note, I'm just going to play it twice.
Yeah. Oh my God. I do that. You know what? I was so proud. I had a student do that this week. He was playing and he's like, I just missed the note. So I did. I was like, you go forth, my son. You have snatched the pebble from my hand. I was like, I was so proud. I was like, yes, that's great.
And that's like the part of, that's like, it's like, that's part of like the showmanship too, right? Of like if you mess something up, but you're gonna turn it into like something that's like you're gonna like And I'm like, okay, that's not the note I meant, but I'm gonna keep doing that until I like regain where am I supposed to go? And it's like, totally. He's just really into that note.
There's a great Victor Wooten.
That guy is insane. The bass player, yeah.
He's got this great lesson where he talks about how to teach improvisation, and he's talking about with the kids. He's like, just grab a note, and he's playing this note that's purposefully out of the scale with this thing, and it's like a technical wrong note, but then if you resolve it up or down a half step, 1 fret, it resolves it. And the more you do that, it's like at first it's like, ugh, but you let people in on that dissonance, and then eventually show them where it goes, how it resolves, and people say, oh, okay. And that becomes the good stuff. That becomes the tension and the release. It's like if you just play all the right notes all the time, it can be boring. So that's where a lot of the interest can come from. So
that's why I think melodically there's sometimes more fluidity that you can have and leeway versus like rhythmic stuff where like sometimes people can tell if you're playing a note off and you're playing it off time.
What are you trying to say, Prabhu? You talking about my timing skills?
Man, the world doesn't revolve around you, man. I think of that from like I'm a right-hand guitar player. Like I'm just always like to me guitar, like now think of it like a fucking machine of like of just like weird rhythms and stuff like that. But I find that like with the scale, you can really take the liberty to play something that's like super. But if you played it on time and you played it right, like you could play a riff that's complete trash, but like played like. And it probably sounds weird, but it's like, oh, he's like playing it on time, so maybe he means it. Like it's like it. I don't know. I feel like it gives it. It's easier to mask like
even the right notes out of time are wrong.
Yeah,
right?
Right. Exactly.
So it's that timing is it's.
I'm gonna write that
everything.
down. I need to.
Yeah.
Even you just summarized it way better than I was trying to get to. But yeah, the right.
I completely agree.
Your
it's like because you can
is no longer needed, Mr. Riggin.
Yeah. I'll sit down. Like
no, it's all good. No, you're absolutely. I agree because that's important because we get so obsessed with what are the right notes, and it's like, well, there's more to music than that. It's like, how are you playing those notes? Do you mean it? So yeah, for sure.
Do you mean it?
Yeah, do I mean it? Yeah, man.
Have you learned to feel?
Yeah, I've learned how to feel.
You downloaded the right patch. That's the
exactly. My newest firmware update includes feelings. That's so. I don't know if you caught that in one episode, but that's like our working theme song now. Where this is Zach.
I saw a post about that. You were Cam. You were doing like a thing.
Yeah.
It was like Leonard Skinner.
Yeah.
It wasn't all that. I'm kidding.
It just. It has to end on that.
It's just like
he'll figure it out. He's a master.
Yeah.
We got it.
We're gonna make every guest
part of the club now.
We should get Haley to sing it. Like, just get everyone, no matter what their talent is.
Oh, I lost my stuff at Opera Tune too.
Opera Tune, yeah.
That was such a subtle joke. You're like Opera Tune,
yeah. That riff, like. We'd started an episode that was supposed to be about something completely different. He showed us that riff. I was like, and then we were both just like, whoa! And the whole time, like,
it's basically that's basically like the lead guitar version of like that chord. Everything to me.
And we just were like, all right, that's our little theme.
Your new obsession. Yeah.
That's exactly. What's our new theme song for it.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. No, that's great. That's cool.
Kingdom always finds a way to somehow bring it up. Ooh. Yeah, fuck Zach. Zach was showing us some cheap.
So, you're not free on Wednesdays. You're free on Tuesdays. So. Yep. We normally do the podcast every other Tuesday.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
We're hiring.
Yeah, right, yeah. No, that's really fun. Yeah.
Hiring with no money. We're losing money out of this. I'm losing money, $100 every 2 months out of this podcast to Zach. Right. So I'm okay firing Zach.
You haven't lost the money yet. I paid up.
I paid him $100. I paid him.
You have your money in an offshore account right now.
No,
that
he's
might
got
get
it.
returned to you.
He's got it in hand,
but it can return to you. I said
Maybe.
don't even send it back.
He's not at rehearsal. He's buying more gear.
Yeah, he's out flipping guitars.
He's getting the third axe effects to keep in a box.
I got one more thing to bake your noodle to kind of, because it ties in with all the stuff.
I love it. You've got so much that
yeah. So this ties in with.
I feel like we're the guests. Like, this is great.
Yeah,
I'm I want to learn what's next.
Welcome to Steel Lemon
really,
Studios.
Yes, that's right. Welcome to the Steel Lemon Show. Basically, all of this stuff, like I said, is tying together. It's all kind of stemming from the song that I'm writing, and the twisted scale pattern thing I posted today. I think you guys saw that, and the idea is you were kind of probably you were saying like you're kind of going up and down some of this typical patterns. This is a way to break out of that.
Let me get off my bullshit tone and get to a nice tone.
So whatever.
I want to get out of the
yeah, no, it's all good. So I think that lick I had was something like let's see, and it goes let's see if I can do it. So that's an example of what I call like a twisted scale pattern. And what I mean by that is we'll take okay, let me show it this way. I'll simplify this a little bit. So you can play, like, for instance, again, minor pentatonic. Let's see. What
key are you in?
F sharp minor.
F sharp. Oh, okay.
So I got this one. That's kind of your typical exactly. Yep. So one change we'll make is we'll change the B to a C right here. So we have Eddie Van Halenize it, right?
See, I'm so bad at that kind of like the so so then I know the notes are, but are you doing it like a ham? Like, are you fretting this and then you're?
So I guess I'm doing a pull off anytime I have that, like, that's, what is that, 17, 14? If that makes sense. So, yep.
And you down pick it the whole time?
Yeah, all right, see, I'm going, I'll say down, down, up, down. I'm going down, down, up, down, 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 up, down.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
The second note I go up.
Oh yeah, there's so many different ways you can do that. You could probably,
I know it's like a small thing, but when you like, I just played it how I felt it, and when you started explaining your picking pattern, I'm like, oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, there's so many different ways. You could do down, down, down. You could play down, 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 up. It's kind of like that whole inside outside thing. But yeah, ultimately you can kind of play that pattern however you like.
Yeah, I don't want to derail
it's okay. It's important because you're like, well, how the hell are you doing that? Yeah. So here's the twisted part. So here's what we're gonna do is we're gonna take the C, that's the 17th fret of the third string. We're gonna make that C sharp. So we have it. That's, what is that, 18 and 14 on the third string, and we're gonna take the C sharp that's on this. Oh, sorry, it's a. Yep. So pinky on the. Was that four? Right, like that. So same string.
Oh, same string.
Yep. And then the C sharp that was here, that's the 14th fret. We're gonna make that 13. We're basically gonna swap those two. So this note goes up, this note goes down. So what I get is the pattern becomes 14 and 18 on the third string, and then I think it's 13 and 15 on your second string. It ends up being the same notes. So you get. So,
and then it goes, and then it's 18 on the third.
So you got 17 on the what's that, second string, and then 13.
Oh,
so make that 13 on with the first finger.
13.
Yep, that's it. And then with your pinky, you play that 18 on the third string. So it essentially switches the notes around. So even if you play up it, you get. And so instead of just being, which is just going up, it kind of goes. It gets a jagged sound in it. So it goes. Oh, sorry. So you get.
And you're doing that the pinky?
Yeah, I'm doing pinky. Yep. And then my ring finger's playing the 17. So I'm using the pinky for the 18 and first finger for both the 14 and 13. That's it. Yeah.
Oh,
yep.
So it's just the same thing, but you're moving it one fret down on the next string.
That's exactly. It's the same exact notes, but you're just flipping it. And it's the pattern is twisted and it sounds twisted, and that's why I call it that.
And you're doing one pick and then
yeah,
hammer.
and really the idea is you could take that as just a minor pentatonic pattern and play whatever you want with it.
I think that zoom cut. I think zoom cutting out is what I needed for the muscle memory to kick in. Now I'm like, oh, this is so much simpler.
Yeah. I mean, it creates sometimes awkward patterns like that. It's usually stretchy kind of patterns, and usually the third and second string is the best because of the tuning. But excuse me, you could do it on any string. Really, it's just stretchier. Like
it is. Yeah.
It has this. So all that is I take like a stretch pentatonic. It's like if you guys know, that's like a stretch pentatonic where you're adding a pinky onto your normal pentatonic notes. And what I do there is I lower this first finger, so you get this. You get so it's essentially like if you play the notes normally, it'd be like, but you just play it downwards. So it ends up being something that's more playable than something like if I tried to, that'd be too awkward to play that. So, okay, yeah, I'll show you that. Just kind of creating that off the spot. So this would be like, it's like Kirk Hammett.
I suck at I can never play his solos. I never spent the time to learn it, but like that kind of stuff where they do like the or even Jimmy Page does that a lot, and that was always something that tripped me up with like learning. Like I always wanted to learn communication breakdown, and never
that stuff too. That stuff's so rad, and but I think that the key that helps me on that one is like to de-Claptonize it. So like Clapton was, he would learn, something like that. He would take a, and he all he did was, and he would do kind of like a fast repeating lick of that. So the point is, I would just do simplify, just like, essentially, if that makes sense. Just do it slow, Something like that. It doesn't have to be, it can be simple. Yeah.
Oh, do you do the same finger, or are you doing?
So I'm doing, and I'm reaching up for the 19th fret right there. Yeah. 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 So if I came down like it, yeah. So that's a good, great idea. So if we went, something like that would be more, it's all the same notes, but instead of just playing, which we've all heard a million times. You just switch those around, you get the
that sounds like was it?
Sometimes you flab too.
the end of Hangar 18, or not Hangar 18? What is it? Holy Wars. And then he does, Marty Freeman has, I don't know if it's Freeman or...
Dave Mustaine right there is doing that. What's that?
Yeah.
You gotta make that face. Yeah.
God.
Let's get down to Metallica.
Yeah. Doesn't mean I ain't thinking it. Yeah, love that song. Yeah, yes. That riff messed me up big time.
Yeah, that riff was hard. It's like the sevens too.
Yeah, that one. Yeah,
it's like it's two. Isn't it two parts? Like what the first one's.
Yeah. Yes, that sounds like so that. Good. Yeah. Yeah.
Is it a?
What's that?
Oh.
Yeah. Is it? Yep.
Did you just slide?
I'm all questioning it because I played off the A string and now I'm playing it wrong.
No, the way you're playing sounds brilliant, but much more natural. I kind of just learned that. I was just working on that song a bit earlier. I think it was maybe 2020. I was trying to get that song more together. And that riff, I probably spent more time getting that thing right because it just messed me up so much more than the riffs, if you believe it.
It's so funny that you talk about because like I'm trying to unlearn like Master of Puppets because like I used to just alternate.
Oh no.
And I'm trying to get to the down picking stuff. And there's just small things like even how it goes from that chorus riff. I think it ends like.
Yeah, I never do that.
I never did that, and now I'm trying to actually learn and do that correctly.
Yeah, totally. I think you guys said this on a different a different episode of this, and I'm glad you brought it up because my immediate thought was I've gone through many stages with Metallica in particular. The first stage, of course, was just like, oh, every song is this. Like, oh wait, palm muting. Oh, wait a second. It's, so every couple of years I have to go back and be like, wait a second, I was doing that wrong. Oh, it's this. My ears
first
are better.
Iteration of Battery was so wrong. Battery with iteration was just
That was the first song that forced me to like actually learn how to alternate pick.
Right.
And I remember thinking like I got this song in the or Holy Wars. I mean, Holy Wars. I started learning that this during quarantine to like actually play. Like I didn't know that they go up here. It goes like this too. It's like it's like. Is that it?
Yeah. That's it.
Or something.
Yes.
Yeah.
I feel like I
forgot it too. Yeah.
I try to make the Rust in Peace tone with it, and I don't think it sounds like it, but like the tone on that album too is just so like it's different. Is that it?
Yeah. That's it.
Yeah, and like just when he goes to when he does like the
major chord instead of the
and he ends on the power chord.
He switches to the 5. Yeah, he switches to the third.
Yeah,
it's such a cool. Because as a kid, I just played it as like, or I just said. Or I played it like, and I was like, it was like really bad. And I remember being like, and like, I remember being like, how does he do that? And then now when I learned it, and I was like, oh, that's so much more satisfying, like playing it like, And then I was like, how does he sing and do that?
Yeah.
Like anyone that sings and plays guitar. start off at like that pace, and then you just
brother will kill brother.
Yeah. Hey, you got it, man.
Across the land. Killing for religion.
I'm sorry. Is this run a Megadeth pick? I felt like it was like a couple years ago, like my Spotify wrap up, because like I think in my holy trinity of like the music I grew up with, I always say Motley Crue, Metallica, and Guns N' Roses. But like as I've like progressed through music, like Megadeth is the I don't want to like just get into classic like guitarist argument, but like I think Megadeth, like their riffs, all their shit just like hits so much harder, and like you can tell the work of like redemption that like Dave Mustaine put into that,
dude. And you gotta play those riffs this.
I just listened.
You gotta play like Marty Freeman, and then it's like even more like how the heck.
Yeah.
Like
I picked up some of that too, playing his stuff. I would start doing that when I played some of that that particular that sort of thing. So I catch myself doing that because I learned it visually from watching his Dragon's Kiss Hot Licks video, whatever the heck that was. So
how does he play like this? Like he picks so weird, and it's so like it gives me like my arm hurts so much when I watch that, and I'm just like, how does he play Holy Wars like
Gives
that?
Gives me a migraine headache.
Yeah, like I don't know how he does that, but like, yeah, Megadeth, that album specifically just spoke to me. Like Rust in Peace. Like there are other albums I don't listen. Like I mean I like Peace Sells. Like the beginning of Devil's Island. That I don't know how to play it. Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, and when we talk about
that's awesome. I love that song. I gotta learn that.
I don't actually know that.
That took me forever. That's Killing Is My Business.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah.
But that end part, it's so funny because he uses the major 5. But like I feel like when I was learning it, like because I was thinking of what did I learn in Holy Wars, I would play the major 3rd originally, like when I was like learning. But he doesn't actually do that. But it because it's so ingrained in me with Holy Wars, like I thought that's what fit there, and it sounds cool, but it's not. Oh, it's actually played, but it's just funny. I feel like
old recordings you can sort of understand. Even Dave Mustaine was like, "Yeah, I thought that engineer was a prick, but turned out my playing was really bad." It's like, yeah, because you were drunk and high. Sure,
asshole.
That makes sense. Probably. Yeah, yeah. That on top of it. But,
I like this drop B. You could play Master of Puppets as like a Meshuggah song.
What, were you skipping that string there too?
Yeah, I'm playing it on
God. Let's make Master of Puppets harder to play.
Now I'm just thinking of like, what if you just drop tuned your E to lower
this is
E
what I'm gonna make
on
my
guitar.
Instagram page now. Or battery.
No, you can only do Master of Puppets. Just do 60-second clips or 30-second clips of everything you break down. Master of Puppets.
Yeah.
Just like
that's awesome.
Some weird kick drum patterns. Wanted to make sure we went through the riff, like that you wanted to show.
Yeah. Thank you for indulging me. I had quite a list of things, and I just got really excited about not only that first riff, but like how that led into my favorite progression and that weird chord and the twisted patterns and all that stuff. And it's all like kind of tied together. It's all the same keys. So
yeah,
that's kind of some of the stuff that I like to work on and incorporate in my music.
Well, let's say this. We'd love to have you back. So we hope to go into more of those things, and then the new things that you sprout and grow and want to show us. We're up for all of it.
Yeah, I'd love to. That'd be great.
How about this? Next time we try, if Zach doesn't make it to the next time, then you replace him on the show. You're just He's fired.
I'm Zach Hayes.
No,
so we found the number one Zach Hayes. And his name is Nick Ford.
we got tired of that concentrate. We got real juice now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Old
no more
juice.
We got pulp.
Pulp.
We got pulp in here.
Yeah.
But
Lemon pulp, yeah.
So before we play the outro, Nick, before you play the outro, Nick, just again, let us know about all the things you Steel Lemon Studios. Please let us know all the things and where people can find you. We'll also play that.
Yeah, my social media handle is just at Steel Lemon. That's SteelLemon, if I could spell. And Steel Lemon Studios, that's the one on YouTube. And I'm a guitar teacher. You can hit me up on that if you have questions or interested in lessons. And I'll play us out here. This is a song from a band of mine that it's actually, we never released this song. It's a song called Cannonball, and I think this is just kind of would make good outro music. So here it is.
So much better than hot cross buns.
Next tonal distancing lesson with Nick Ford to be hot cross buns.
Yeah.
How to twist it around.
Yeah.
But also you inspired like
hot cross buns the real way.
You also inspired like another idea though. Like next time we should go in our vault of like songs that we tried to record or maybe didn't, like we tried doing something with it but we couldn't get anywhere, and just talk about that, because there's so many. I feel like where I started, didn't finish, or just I ran into that brick wall that said, you know what, this is I gotta just walk away from this.
We could like swap riffs, and then like we each have to finich the other person. So it, because like then
my god, I have so much stuff, you guys.
I'm gonna throw Kanum you gotta tune that down. I'll give you one of those that you're like, I gotta tune that.
No, careful, probably. I got some jazz stuff, man.
I know. I'll be here. Like,
I try to do giant steps in minor. You don't want that one.
Yeah, I know that's gonna be terrible. I'm all for.
I feel like I have no challenge to give. You do.
Yeah, you do that.
That's from Zach.
Yeah. What kind of heart?
No, you made it into. But
you know what I'll make you do? Probably I'll make you write lyrics.
Hey, I'm working on that with this class, so I'm getting there.
I'll give you the specific subject matter. How about that?
Yeah.
Like I'll make you like.
No, you gotta make me write emails.
But I want you to. Yeah, I'll make you write email.
You'll make me stick to a business plan and actually like be organized. That'll be my punishment. Yeah, it was super. It's super fun having you on it. Like it's like we've been here for like 3 hours and I don't want to go. I'm like,
no, it's good to
Zach.
It's good to finally meet you guys, because like I said, I watched quite a few episodes and I'm really loving the show. So I had a lot of fun and I would love to do it again. So it's like I said, it's good to actually, like I said, if people watch this, I'd never actually talked to these guys even once, really. I mean, over like Instagram, but I kind of knew Zach from Instagram, so it's cool that it worked out.
Yeah, gotta love and that. Oh, go ahead, Kanum.
No, I just think that's like the fun of the show is like you realize how much of like a common language we all have just playing the guitar, and just we're all like, we all love something that's actually something very niche, which is to play and actually try to produce music and write guitar. Like there's so many people that like stop short of buying their first guitar and then never learning how to play it. There's so many people that stop short of, I only really know cowboy chords. And then but we've gone so far that it's just great to talk to other people that have at least made it as far as we all have.
Right.
Yeah.
Not saying we won't talk to people that play cowboy chords.
Hey man, it depends which cowboy chords. When you start adding those like those
I like this one.
Yeah.
How about that for a cowboy chord?
Add a nice spring beat.
Add the clip draw for that. You'd be dead at high noon.
I'm not bringing that to the campfire jam. It's not going to work.
What?
So the next one's a D. No. No, we're just trying to play, Chris Stapleton or something.
There we go.
We're trying to play,
You're not trying to revamp Tennessee whiskey.
That's right.
We got this one next.
That's right.
Awesome. Because A major is also like the relative major of F.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah. Ooh, 4-chord. Yeah. So
it's Tennessee whiskey.
Yeah.
Wow, you made that work way better than
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, I think we lost Prabhu again. I think he froze.
Oh no, I'm
I'm
just trying to find the tone on the Axe effects. This is why you don't get an Axe effects. It's just cycling through.
So embarrassing.
Where is Surfabilly Hot Rod? I can't find where Surfabilly Hot Rod is.
Watch how I change my tones, Prabhu. Done. Just pressing some buttons on my feet. He's like, let me show you this other riff.
I thought he froze.
This is also the best thing about Prabhu. He'll say, I only have 5 minutes, and he'll speak for 3 more hours.
Oh, it's Midwest. We're in the Midwest goodbye. This is the Midwest goodbye portion of the show.
Again, another thing I thought that was just an Indian thing. Because that's an Indian thing. People are like, an Indian goodbye is like you say goodbye at the couch at the guest's house, and then you go to the doorway, and you have like another 5 to 10 minute conversation.
And you're at the car.
Then the doorstep, and they walk you to the car, and then and then I forgot my purse inside, and then you gotta go inside.
My in-laws, they'll talk to us in the car. They'll talk to us as we're driving out of it, as we're on the street. It's like we're done. Let's just go home.
I feel like that just reminds me of like every band practice I had like throughout high school and college. It'd be like we practice for like 2-3 hours, and then we spend another 2-3 hours just by the car after we've loaded up.
Yeah, sure. Yeah,
it's like what's going on?
I found it. It's not Surfabilly. It's Rockabilly Hot Rod. When you're talking about the country stuff.
Yeah.
You put the acoustic pickup on here with the electric, and then you get
a little piezo action.
That's perfect. I feel like those worth the wait.
Yeah, that's why I was like, wait, there's more. It's not just me, like going through the Axe effects, but
slap back in.
Yeah. No, this is super fun. We need to have you on again and have a part 2 where we go through everything and have Zach on here and have
see, that's the beauty of Zach not being here. We have an excuse to have him on again.
Yeah,
that's right. I'm your guest sub-host, Nick Ford.
Perfect.
Yeah,
we'll just catch you on the Tuesdays.
Yeah, there you go.
Tuesday episodes.
The Tuesday edition.
That'd be funny. Well, yeah, and this happens with the outro too. We have an outro and then a like 10-minute conversation after that's still funny enough to keep in, and then it's like, I'm sure whoever listens
and then
like,
we stop recording and then we keep having a conversation.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, right.
That's good enough to keep in.
Speaking of stop recording, thank you for watching Tonal Distancing.
Thank you.